Chinese growth has been very disappointing, that's true. And typically we would have expected that to have a negative impact on Southeast Asia. We haven't. In fact, Southeast Asian growth accelerated in the second half of this year. I think this highlights the resiliency of the region. No longer is China the all-important market. And part of this resilience is, I think, attached to the second point. There's been a massive amount of shifts in capital flows in the region. Now, we all know about China Plus One strategy, friendshoring, etc. So there has been a massive amount of investments that's been diverted away from China to places like Vietnam, for example, increasingly now India. Now that really started during the Trump trade wars. During COVID, of course, that continued, and we're going to see an acceleration of that. But I think the impression most people get is it's typically your multinationals, your Western companies that are making this shift. But increasingly, Chinese companies themselves are actually accelerating their outward FDI. Now, this is a new trend, and we can only see that continue. So they're also investing outside of China, setting up factories in other places, and that's actually helped to lift investment activity in Southeast Asia and India, and I believe this contributes to the resiliency of the rest of the region. And I think this also offers huge opportunities for Australia in particular, because we all know Australia is quite reliant on China still in terms of the share of trade. ASEAN is a fast-growing region. It's a $4 trillion GDP combined this year. By the end of this decade, it's going to grow to $6 trillion. And yet Australia's share of trade with ASEAN has been static for the last 10 years. So huge opportunities in terms of a fast-growing region at the doorstep, and huge opportunities in terms of growing that trade and investment flows.